This is Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.
Happy Wednesday, guys. It's Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie. Who did you catch on your couch tonight?
Oh, my God. Which couch?
What stranger did you find in your house?
Casting couch.
No, that's not the couch we're talking about, or is
Oh,
it?
sorry. No, that's a different story. That was for tomorrow's podcast.
Yeah, and I don't think casting couches exist anymore.
Not anymore.
No.
You couldn't do it anymore.
Thank goodness.
This is a story of a guy who went wandering after a party, isn't it, Kate?
Yes, it is. I think a few too many beverages. Good night by the looks of it.
Well, so was it this year's Christmas party, Tom, or was it last year?
Good one, Fitz.
Yeah.
Go home to your own house.
Leave your
You'll go to jail!
Oh,
Here's the podcast.
no way.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
On Nova.
Inventions. I mean, Wippa, you think you've claimed a couple. My son Lenny wants to be an inventor when he gets older. I think when we're all young kids, we want to invent something.
Nothing excites me more than the idea of creating something that doesn't exist for the purpose of convenience or enjoyment.
Yeah.
And money.
Yeah, money's your big one there, isn't it, big fella?
And ripple.
There are. I mean, there's some useless inventions out there. This one, I don't mind this one. You know what, I was thinking about this one on the computer last night when I had my beautiful dog Beastie next to me, and I nuzzle into his neck sometimes and give him a couple of kisses, Jess. I think you do with your dog as well. Everyone does. But there are certain insects that people have, and pets, that are probably too small for you to wrap your lips around and give a kiss.
Yeah.
So this guy's invented a device so he can kiss insects.
Weird.
Have a listen to this.
The other day I kissed a grasshopper using this cool product called Bug Kiss. On the back of the package there was an offer to get this field guide, so I got it. Oh look, there's a grasshopper page, which is what I kissed. Check.
Loser. So it looks like a dummy in his mouth.
Yeah,
and it looks like it's got a small spring off the end with a fake set of lips on the end of it.
And you get different sized lips. So, you know, that's a fly there. He didn't get anywhere near the fly, but you could go near a spider and then you can get a little bit of a bigger pair of lips and go in for the kiss. I think this is a beautiful idea. There's a worm. This guy, isn't that?
So,
and he's not going to catch any disease or anything like that, but he gets to kiss the worm.
So this guy turns up to his 20-year reunion. What have you been up to, mate? Oh, I'm an inventor. Oh, what have you done? Something to do with the internet, ChatGPT? No, a small set of lips that's loaded to a spring, and then I kiss insects.
Can I give you some
Get out
actual?
now.
These are actual inventions that tried to take off, but they didn't. So there was the Control-Alt-Delete wand. That was a wand that you just could pull out and you could put on the computer and you don't have to use your three fingers.
Oh,
it's
I see.
a wand that does the Control-Alt-Delete for you.
Okay, sure.
This is it's like a roof rack on your car, but it was a clothes dryer. So you could put your clothes on there, you peg them on there, and you go for a drive, and it dries them really quickly. That's not a bad idea.
Can you tell me the truth? You've never hung your wet undies after a swim off your side rear vision mirror?
Yeah.
That works perfectly.
That's not bad. You got the baby mop we know about. The solar-powered cigarette. Now, that's just the
lighter.
the magnifying lens, and underneath it, you just lock in your cigarette, and then you've got to find the sun, get it on the exact end of the cigarette, and it lights it up for you.
Okay, sure.
This is not a bad one. A car exhaust grill. So you could put a patty in the car exhaust grill.
Yuck.
Go for a drive. After your drive is finished, your patty's ready to go. There's your hamburger.
Okay.
The two-person sweatshirt didn't really take off. The perfect eye dropper is a good one as well. That's a pair of glasses with two funnels on it, and you're not going to miss.
That's if you have to do your own eye drops. Yeah, I can see the idea behind it.
Do you know, like a glue stick? You've got the glue stick. I like this one. Someone did a butter stick.
Oh, yeah.
So you just get the glue stick and you just put it onto your toast.
Very accurate. I mean, I've told you that it's not crazy also to actually butter your bread and then put it in the toaster. Actually works. Crisps up quite nice like French toast.
Yeah.
It's not crazy, mate.
See, I do love that people have these minds out there, and obviously you got to put a lot of money into it. You got to patent it.
Do you remember I told you about the guy who he created the plasma fish tank? And the idea was that it was thin enough that it looked like a TV on the wall. But the problem was, what he realised once he'd built it was only sort of an inch thick, was that you could only put really small fish in it because the fish couldn't turn around. So some of the larger fish were getting sort of wedged trying to turn from one end to the
See, can I throw this out there? Why don't you just get a really nice television and
Or
on
put a
the
fish tank on
television
it?
put a fish tank with some beautiful fish on there?
You can flick from your fireplace to your fish tank. It's as simple as that.
You don't have to clean it. You don't have to feed them.
Why is that goldfish stuck in the corner?
For holiday accommodation more comfy than your cozies, jump on the What If app.
With hotels, holiday rentals, holiday parks, and more, find the perfect fit for holiday you.
Book your getaway on the What If app.
What if it's Aussie for travel? What are you looking at me for?
Sorry, it's not
Can
you.
you point
It's
to
Kate.
me?
Sorry,
Point
Kate,
at
over to you.
Do I have a story for you?
That sounded Lebanese. Not Spanish, as I said going into the
Oh,
song.
well, how do you do it?
A story for you.
And how
I got
do
a
you...
story for you next.
Listen up, I got a story for you.
you.
And a story for you. And a story for you.
Everybody get a story. One of those multicultural mornings.
It's one of those mornings. We're a bit tired this morning.
We are.
The wheels have fallen off.
The story I do have for you, though, is not the kind of story that Whip was setting up, because the way you spoke about it sounded as though just a stranger waking up in your bed.
No.
I'm sure the phones would be going crazy.
We've all had a few of those, am I right, guys?
Nope.
You're not wrong, Whip.
Oh, my goodness.
Hold on a tick.
This is what does that mean?
Just acknowledgement
is that
of a great
new thing?
Acknowledgement of a great
You
call.
don't know about the bell?
Is that a good joke?
God, well, the bell's been a part of your radio career for how long? 15 years?
And Smallsies, the surgery use it as well quite
Do they?
frequently. Yeah, the same bell, I believe.
When someone's at the desk.
I hope they sterilise it after they use it in the
They
surgery.
do everything sterilised during that show.
So is that a good call, but you give yourself it's a good call. Do you give it to other people?
Not often.
Okay.
See how you go. Play your cards right, you'll get a bell.
Okay, well, listen up. This is a story out of the Gold Coast from Coomera.
Okay.
And this person has woken up. This video has gone viral. It's a Sunday morning, and they've walked out into the lounge room, and there's a young man asleep on the couch, and not a young man that usually lives in that house, and not a young man that this person has ever seen before.
He's had a few, hasn't he?
He has. So this young man has broken in at some point after a few beverages.
Has he broken in or he's just confused?
Well, I don't think it matters whether you're confused or not. You're trespassing and therefore you're breaking in, are you not?
Well, it happened to a mate of mine. I've told you the story before. He was out at a Christmas party and he was actually dressed as a stormtrooper. And he stood
Don't
on...
get dress-ups.
No, you don't. Neither do I. I hate to dress up. But he was...
Why are you doing it today?
Oh, da-da-da-da-da-da. I've offered the bell to Ryan for that comment. So that's how you win the bell. If you can do that, Kate, you win the bell.
Didn't know it was Fancy Dress Wednesday in at Nova today.
Da-da-da-da-da.
He looks like a 10-year-old looking for a hot dog at
At the fair. At the Easter show.
we're at Bison. What did you say before?
At Expo 88.
88.
It's good to see you with a pair of pants on that your dog hasn't eaten the crutch out of this morning, Kate, but that's another story if we're talking fashion. Anyway, he then got home. He doesn't really remember this part, but he was standing on the front of his porch and he couldn't find his keys. Looked over the road and saw that the door was open. So he literally walked across the road into the house in his stormtrooper's outfit and fell asleep on the couch. Woke up in the morning, two girls screaming at him, saying, "Who are you? Get out of our house." They'd taken his mobile phone. He'd wet himself.
Oh, no.
Oh, that's a big
He'd done a little
lie.
pedal on the couch.
Well, that was the story that I have. Timmy Boston, I've spoken about him plenty of times.
the Bosto.
But he went to the next door neighbour's house instead of his house coming home after a party.
Yeah.
And walked into the house
Yep.
and unfortunately went to the toilet, but it wasn't the actual toilet. He was doing it in the lounge room.
He thought it was the toilet.
Thinking it was the toilet.
Ones or twos?
No, ones.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's just Timmy
It's a lot of effort.
Timmy Boston's got a bit of a reputation.
Was it the couch or the coffee table? It doesn't really matter, does
No,
it?
it doesn't matter at
No,
all.
it doesn't. It doesn't matter.
It was a newspaper. Like it looks like a toilet. It was a rounds, and it was. He just thought it was all the newspapers were in there, but obviously they were ruined.
If someone's had a big night out, I reckon it's almost neighbourhood watch-like to offer them a couch or a spot on the floor. I saw the photo of this poor guy, and he's in his jeans, and his sort of pants are hanging down a bit, and his boxer shorts are hanging out.
Yeah, he's very young because it's that kind of look where he's obviously had his jeans not quite on the top of his buttocks, so you can see his boxer shorts hanging out.
I mean, it's a little bit of, Steve-o, where do you live? Are you down 3 doors down the road? That's funny, mate. That's okay. You can sleep on the couch, you know.
I know the guy who owned the house. He wasn't particularly worried about it. He just called the police and said, look, someone's here. He didn't want to press charges.
Sure.
Just come and get him and take him out of the house.
Have you ever woken up and been surprised by the location you're in?
No.
No. No, like the look on your face definitely said no from the word go when I suggested.
Or how did I end up here?
Oh, I think, I guess so, but I've never wandered into someone's
Like
house
where?
uninvited.
Where?
I don't know sometimes when you ask questions whether it's you're asking for the benefit of the show
It's
or
been
you're
a
just
benefit of
being
the show.
creepy.
No, I'm doing it for the listener who are enjoying the broadcast and want to know more.
I'd love to know who you caught in your house, though, that wasn't supposed to be there. Did you have a stranger in your house that you've just walked out into the kitchen and someone else was there?
Yeah, didn't Robert Downey Jr. do that at some point?
Yes.
Woke up in someone's house?
I think yes, after a big night out.
Could you imagine that? You walk into your kitchen and Robert Downey Jr.'s there.
Oh, my
it's
goodness.
Iron
Who
Man.
would you like, though,
Oh,
of
God.
all the movie stars?
I did.
Who would you pick?
Guy or girl?
Well, whatever you would like. MDG, I'm sure you've got something to offer.
No,
I would,
it's a funny story that
go on.
a mate had done this.
Well, we'll be the judge of that.
Give an inch.
Well, for a girl that he was chasing, and they sort of were drifting, and she took another guy home. So he went around to hers and just started making her breakfast in the kitchen.
Oh.
So when she woke up with this other guy, he was in the kitchen making breakfast for her as a bit of a power play, saying, "Trust me, I'm the guy you want, not this other bloke." And it worked. She was like, "You're right. I want you, not this other bloke."
Oh,
And
but so how awkward.
Do you know what happened
so
to
awkward for the bloke.
Do you know what happened to my mate one time? He went back to a girl's house and he went to the bathroom in the morning, but he didn't realise that the bathroom was one of those bathrooms that attaches. It's got a sliding door on both sides, so it's attached to one bedroom and then another
Yeah,
bedroom.
2 en-suites for the price of one.
Yeah, and he was on the toilet, and the father walked in. To find him on the toilet as sort of a stranger in the house.
Who was the stranger in your house? We're talking about having a stranger in your house. This was the story of a Scottish guy who had a few too many drinks at a party, and he's gone outside just to freshen up a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's come back, and he thought he's come back into the party, and he's gone to have a sleep, but he's gone to the next door neighbour's house. He's woken up in the morning, and the lady who lives there is freaking out, so she makes him a cup of coffee, and then he starts filming this moment.
I've come in my house, got a cover, went to sleep. A couple phoned me up this morning like that. Who are you? Instead of getting back into the party, I went into the house next door. Thank God, this woman's from Glasgow, so she's like, "How we're welcoming. Cup of tea, a fag." Oh, the party was next door.
She gave him a cup of tea
And a smoke.
and now they're really good friends.
That was Lewis Capaldi.
I like that.
That is amazing.
Jacques has given us a call from Wollongong. You were the stranger that ended up on the couch, Jacques?
Yes, and it all happened because somebody locked me out the house, and I had a bit of food poisoning, and I remembered that the neighbour across the road had a beautiful pool with a beautiful outside pergola set, and managed to fall asleep over there.
So, Jacques, hang on a minute. You've got a terrible stomach because you've got food poisoning. So you took yourself to a neighbour's house? He'd be wrapped.
Yeah, look, let's just say the pool cleaning company the next morning didn't recognise me, and they were a bit shocked to find me outside next to the pool.
Where did you go to the toilet? In the pool?
No, of course not, no.
Oh, were they friendly, Jacques, or were they quite angry with you?
Well, there was a bit of explaining at first, but after that, after understanding what happened, they were more than happy.
Bit of exploding at first. Jacques, thank you, buddy.
No explaining.
Oh,
he said.
sorry.
No explaining.
Sure.
Nikki's given us a call from Janelle. Who was the stranger on your couch, Nick?
Yeah, hi guys. It was actually my husband. We were camping, and he was missing from the tent. And the next morning, we heard these screams, this family had woken up with my husband in their tent.
How good is
He was
that?
completely annihilated. So.
Oh, no. So he would have been snoring and farting. And...
Yeah, probably.
It sounds like a likely story, though. Oh, sorry, honey, I got up in the middle of the night and woke up in someone else's tent.
That happens.
Oh my God, I could write a book on my husband's NPX.
Oh, my God. Call us each week, Nikki. I love that.
Catherine and Kirrawee, who ended up on your couch, Kath?
Well, they didn't end up on my couch, but I had a random German walk into my unlocked apartment in the middle of the night one time looking for the toilet.
Go on.
Oh, and what happened?
Well, I stood a nice distance away from him and gently told him, no, I think you're in the wrong place. This isn't a bathroom. And he just turned around and walked back out, thankfully.
Were you frightened?
I was a little bit put off by it. So we called the landlord to get another key the next day because my husband worked at the pub and had lost his key, so I used to have to leave the door unlocked for him to get in the middle of the night.
Change those locks straight up. That's what I'll be doing. Tina from Wollongong. Who was the stranger on your couch, Tina?
It wasn't in my couch. It was on my daughter's house, actually. She used to live in an old probation and parole building, and she woke up one morning and rang me and said, Mum, I've got this man in my house. And when I rocked around to see what was happening, this fellow had let himself in while she was sleeping overnight, her and her flatmates, and he'd rearranged the furniture in the lounge room for her. It had been raining overnight. He'd also taken the pot plants outside and put them in the courtyard so they could get a little bit of water and just cruising around the house while she was and her flatmates were sleeping.
Weird.
Oh, yeah, that's even creepier, isn't
Really
it? Like,
weird.
stop being helpful in my house.
Well, that's what I said too. It was great that Uncle Cracker thought that he could rearrange the furniture and help her out a little bit. And
God.
just a shame he didn't mop the floors for her.
Tina, I love it. Thank you.
Last one, Monica in Kenthurst. You found someone on your driveway, Monica.
Yes, so we woke up to our dog barking. So we've run out on the porch and there's a guy trying to break into our car.
Oh, God.
So we get the baseball bat. We're on the balcony thinking, someone's trying to get in. So anyway, we had a conversation with him. He was so drunk he could hardly speak, and then he walks off.
Yeah.
He walks out the driveway and down the road. So we call the police, and then the Garbo guy drives past. And we're like, hey, there's a guy down the road. He goes, yeah, I saw him stumbling up the road. And we're like, oh, what happened? He goes, he went up Kenthurst Road. So as we walk to the end of our driveway, there's a big flat patch in our garden. And in front of the flat patch was his jacket, his watch, his phone, and his shoes.
Oh, no. He's
obviously fallen asleep in our garden. Anyway, the police came, they found him, took him home, and then rang us and said, oh, look, thanks for giving him his phone and his watch back. He was at our neighbour's house at a party. He was so drunk, he left at 1 o'clock in the morning, walked to our house, fell asleep in our yard. We found him at 5 o'clock with the dog.
Great effort.
And then tried to break into the car and drive
Oh, my
himself away.
God. And you're still married to him, Monica. That is.
What a journey. What a journey.
What a journey,
And what a
Mom.
headache.
Oh, what a headache.
Well told, Monica.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.
What do the locals change the name of your suburb to, guys? What nickname does it have? Tommy, where you grew up was pretty wild in Melbourne. You're a Frankston boy.
Yes, Franganistan.
Oh, that was good. It was. I mean, being on the front line there, sometimes it was pretty tough.
This map has been released. Merrylands is known as Scarylands. Camden is Scamden. I mean, picking up the map here. Ashfield's been changed to Hashfield.
I didn't know that DY is known as D-Wizzle.
Is it really? The D-Whistle?
I don't know if Snoop's been out there or not.
What's Balmain called?
Well, it's Balpain.
Really?
Oh, that's interesting.
Times are tough, coffee expensive.
Randwick's not a bad one. Rando.
Where do
you
hanging
want to
out.
go today? Let's just pick a rando.
Bondi is called Bondi, as in D-Y-E.
Oh, that's a bit full on, isn't
A
it?
bit of a bloody laugh there, aren't we, guys?
The Riff, which is Penrith.
Yeah, sure. I can understand that. West Penno, mate. Very simple.
So this is good. Let's go to Nina in Greenacre. Nina, what's your suburb's nickname?
Oh, it doesn't even rhyme. It's not even clever. They just call it the Hood.
The Hood? Why the Hood, Nina?
It's kind of a rough area, I gotta say.
Greenacre?
Yeah, no matter who I tell where I live to, they go, oh, you're in the Hood.
Yeah, you're in the
Oh, man. Did you see that footage of Rachel Finch yesterday? Friend of the show, and she went on Instagram and said that last night she got a knock on the door at about 2 o'clock in the morning, the police, and she opened the door and they said, "You've been broken into." And she quickly ran to the kids' room to make sure they were okay, freaking out, heart pounding. And the police then said that every house on the street had been burgled.
What?
Up and down the street.
While they were asleep?
While they were fast asleep. Someone had been in the house.
God, I know a lady who got done the other night as well. And
Really?
her car keys, she said, were 10 metres away from her. 1:30 in the morning, she woke up in the morning and the door was open and her car was gone.
Oh, my God.
How do they...
10 metres
are we
away.
Sleeping that heavy?
We must be.
days?
These days.
Wouldn't you know, she said her dog was going off at 1:30 in the morning, but she just thought it was like a fox outside or something.
That's why I put cameras into my place not long ago. And then I realised, guess what I caught yesterday? One of the neighbours picking up a dog poo, leaving it in a bag and popping it on top of our fence.
What do you mean?
So
they put it on your fence?
Yeah, the dog's done a poo on the lawn out the front. They picked it up in the bag. They've done the right thing, tied a little knot, and you can see it on the camera, and then they just leave the bag on our
Sorry about that, but your bin was right there,
No,
so I
you're
thought I'd
right.
leave it.
No, we were asleep, mate.
You're
Thank
lucky
you
I
for
put
that.
it in the bag. Saatchi's giving us a call from Thornley. Suburb nickname, Saatchi.
Hey, I got Blacktown. We used to call it Black Eye because there's too many punch-ons.
All right, yeah.
Oh, Black Eye Town. Oh, Black Eye Peas.
Yeah, you got any others?
Yeah, we used to call the Central Coast the Freezer as well because no one's got teeth.
The freezer.
Yeah.
How does that tie into teeth?
Hey?
How does that tie into no teeth?
The freezer.
Oh, well, it's got something to do with the gear that they're on.
gotcha, right,
the
okay.
freezer. Sorry about that. Yep, gotcha.
That's not bad, Saatchi. Well
Good,
done.
actually, well done. You've done very well.
Michaela's giving us a call from Galston. What do you want to add
Hi.
to the suburb nicknames?
We used to be called the Gallstoners.
Gallstones. Not bad,
That would
is
be
it?
a great social basketball team, wouldn't it?
The
I'm not sure if you remember the news the other day with the weed crop being burnt in Galston too.
Do you know the other one? The best is when there is a suburb that is so bad that they change the name of it to try to get people to buy in the area.
Isn't
Because
that
we had Hackham West. Like Hackham West.
Yeah.
Like there was someone in Hackham West that tried to shove their kid into a microwave as discipline for being bad at home.
Stackham West?
They got it, yeah, so they changed Hackham West to Huntfield Heights.
Isn't that beautiful?
Which sounds amazing.
Huntfield Heights. You
Until
born
you
in
get
Huntfield
there.
Heights?
Wow. Yeah, I've got a brand new little townhouse in Huntfield Heights.
It comes with a microwave.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
On Nova.
Let's talk about Jack Black. First things first. Best movie would be Gulliver's Travels.
Gulliver's or
I don't know how to
Gulliver's?
say it. Is it Gulliver's, is it?
Gulliver's Travels.
You
Travels.
don't know how to say schnitzel either.
I've been teaching you all morning. But that's okay, Snitzel.
I would say his best movie, never to watch again, is Jumanji.
Oh, yeah, that was a good movie.
What about Tenacious D? Best song ever? Was that what it was called?
Wasn't he in High Fidelity, Tommy? Or Empire, was it Empire Records?
He was in that too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so. But
Shallow Hal was by far his best. What a great concept of a movie.
you've
So
forgotten
good.
the big one,
What's that?
School of Rock.
You love School of Rock, don't you?
So good.
I just, there's something, and he's probably not a big fan of mine either, but there's something when I look at him, I
What is
feel
it?
like he has
eyes?
evil eyes.
Evil
And
eyes?
it's like, why are you talking to me like that?
He's very animated. That's why he's so popular. I think the kids love him.
Yeah, he's
You
like a
obviously
cartoon
hate
character.
him.
No, I don't hate
Jumanji
anyone.
wasn't that bad.
Very harsh word. Oh, I can't stand that movie.
Okay.
I can't stand
we
it.
will-
Stop, just pick a character and be that person.
We'll let him
You're
know.
confusing me.
I think he joins the show pretty soon, Tommy. Okay, you can set that one
A
out.
couple of weeks, guys. Lock it in.
Have a break.
Tenacious D has to be his biggest thing, though, isn't it? I mean, that's brilliant.
Great song and great film clip.
Great musician, good mates with Dave Grohl. He's cool, man. He's really cool.
Let's talk about this. This is the most beautiful story because I didn't realise that as a teenager he was just a shy young guy because you see him on stage and he's got so much energy. He has been married to his wife for a long time now, but It wasn't until 15 years after school that they actually hooked up because he was too nervous. He had a crush on her the whole time they were at school.
Great story, isn't it?
So they even did a stage show together with the school drama. Yeah.
What, School of Rock?
No. Did a drama class together, and he just admired her the entire time and thought she was so talented.
You've made that up.
No,
it's
to the
beautiful.
point where she was in a band, and once they left school, he would even go and see the band play, but he didn't want her to know that he was there.
Desperate.
And it said he would stand and hide in the shadows and watch her perform on stage because he was
stalking.
It's not creepy, no.
Nobody likes a keno.
He would admire her from a distance, thinking, wouldn't it be beautiful? You haven't heard of
Nobody
keno?
likes a keno.
Oh, come on,
As
mate.
in, like someone who's super keen.
Too keen.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
Welcome.
Thank you
Keno's
so
at
much.
the jackpot Keno. Hey, so, but when do you get the confidence up to go, I've got to tell them the feelings that I've had for her for such a long time?
Great question, Ryan, and thank you for the opportunity to share.
Trying to get you to get to the story.
Yeah, no worries. There was then an audition for a movie, and she, obviously being in a band and also an actress, auditioned for it. He also auditioned for the male role, and the next thing you know, we're spending a bit of time together, and bingo, bango, it's on!
Meant to be.
Isn't that beautiful?
Isn't it the same with Ed Sheeran and Cherry? Weren't they in high school together?
Love, yeah.
And then they, years after, they decided to.
But he's come out
with
They
each
didn't
other.
get together then.
No.
Although they're together now, he came out and said, I'm so sick, I wish I had the courage to have approached her earlier on. I wasted 15 years.
It's an all
where we could have been together.
Yeah, you can't have that attitude because I think you have to believe that everything happens exactly when it is meant to happen. The good, the bad, and the real
Really
average.
ugly. Really ugly.
Do you know what? It's a horrible time to go through that awkward stage in your life, isn't it?
talking about the friend
Teenage
zone?
years and school, because it's magnified. Bullying and that is so magnified in that area. When you are awkward as a kid, you have no confidence, and you like someone, there'd be so many of these stories where you're not going to go up and say it at all because you're going through puberty. It's just...
Do you know what about the intensity of those moments where you feel like the kiss is on with someone and then you don't know how to actually do that moment? Like, how do I lean in here? Or do I hold her hand? Or do I put my hand on her leg? Or
Having
do
a
I...
few problems at home?
No, it's fine. I mean, at least we'll come back to the marital suite, I think, before 2030. But that's cool. I'll wait till then. But I think just...
you open your mouth a little bit.
No, I
and
get...
then
No, you
just
don't have to
cut
do...
your-
I
Don't
understand.
talk us through kissing, you guys.
I know how it works, and then you wipe the dribble off your mouth.
Well,
Should
no,
you guys ever do
there should
that?
be no dribble.
Oh, sorry.
Yes.
And then you I remember my first kiss was like a thumb war. I was playing thumb wars with this girl Sally.
Well, that's what you do. You try and do the
like a little
touch, and
gamey,
it's
little
not
gamey.
easy.
Love a thumb, don't you?
What was your first kiss, Kate?
It was I was dared to kiss somebody. I was in year 6. I was at a party.
Grade
Her name was
6?
Tamara. Tamara Walzak.
Your first kiss was a
Jack.
girl.
No, it was her house. I think his name was David.
Was
he
it-
didn't even go to my school.
Was it spin the bottle or a dare?
Something like that.
Okay.
We're all daring each other.
And where did you kiss? In the house? Were
On the
people
lips.
On the
watching?
lips.
No, but were people watching?
Yeah.
Or did you go out the back? Or
I don't remember that part of it. It couldn't have been too memorable.
right? Okay.
Was it awkward?
Yeah, of course it's awkward.
Did you like him?
I don't think so. I think it all started.
he liked
that
you.
started-
Well, he's
well,
on the
he was
line
only
now.
human.
David, you there?
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie. Nova.
I hate to break it to you guys. I think we all knew this. Sydney has officially been named as the second least affordable city in the world. Do you want to have a guess who's
my
in at
God.
number 1?
I'm moving to Paris then.
Would it be New York?
What is it?
It's actually Hong Kong.
Honkers?
Yeah, of course.
I think here's the list here. Yeah, Hong Kong, Sydney. Is New York's not even on the
No,
list.
it's not on the list.
Melbourne's in at number 9,
Well done.
followed by Toronto at number 10.
Least affordable.
New
a lot
South
of money
Wales.
a lot of money in Hong Kong.
Hey, what did you buy for a coffee yesterday? What did you buy a coffee for in Piedmont yesterday?
$6.10 for
Yeah.
a strong oat,
I told
flat
you.
white, a little one.
Bondi nippers are selling snag sandwiches for $6. That's just a
extraordinary.
sausage on a piece of white bread for $6.
I went into the servo yesterday and saw a packet of corn chips for $7.
$7.
Did you buy them?
No, I didn't realise there was a shortage on corn. It might have been the floods. Could be COVID. Could be. I mean, there's a potato shortage. We know that. I'm
see
panicking.
the $5 RSL changed their name of
To
the
what?
restaurant because of all the controversy with the $42 schnitzel.
What did they go to? Cheap Eats?
I can't remember what it's called.
What, are you saying at $5 it was $42 for a schnitzel?
Yeah, for a veal schnitzel.
Yeah, that's extraordinary. What do they go with?
I don't know.
Budget bites?
Yeah, it's... I don't
Fair
think
priced meals?
I don't think anyone even uses the lawn bowls on the weekend. I think they've turned it into a restaurant and got a good chef in there.
Yeah, well, that's why they have to charge that much. I'd love a veal. I haven't had a veal schnitzel for a long time.
You know what? I feel like Sizzler closed just at the wrong time.
No,
if they could have just seen through COVID.
How do you reckon?
How could Sizzler survive through COVID?
How do you
I don't
reckon
know.
Sizzler would go right now with all-you-can-eat food?
I think
Do you
everybody...
reckon they'd be making money off that?
Do you know what? I've heard even the fast food chains have been hit because there are people that are slashing their budgets because of inflation.
Well-
People are looking for even cheaper eats. We went to the Campbelltown Sizzler, didn't we, Fitz?
Yeah.
We had a phenomenal meal.
We're just before it closed down, and we took some listeners there, which was a bad move.
That's it. We were buying there.
It was great.
They rinsed the place. No, but how's this? This is the one that blew my mind. Wheat Bix, the big box of Wheat Bix has always been $5. Always.
How much now?
And they stand out in the cereal area because you know what? Everything else is just ridiculous. Cocoa Pops went up to $11.
What for a box of Cocoa Pops?
Yeah,
Give me a break.
Cocoa Pops.
Oh well, we don't eat Cocoa Pops, and I wasn't allowed as a kid either.
Wheat Bix has now gone up to $6. I mean, it's still better than the others, but you know the inflation is biting.
What about all brand, Tommy? It keeps you regular, but how much is that costing
Large
you?
box is now $7.50, guys.
That's what I mean.
Used to be $6.
It's just cardboard.
Are they still doing $2 taco nights? You
Where?
can't afford it anymore, can you, mate?
I don't know where that was in 1983, I think. But well done.
Taco.
Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
Nova.
If you're struggling to work out who to vote for in the state election this Saturday, we've got you sorted. We're having our state election pigeon race.
They fly away, and then it's first one back.
That sounds fantastic.
This is great.
Love to do that.
Come fly with me, let's fly away.
Chris Minns said he'd love to do that, but he's quite busy 2 days out from the state election.
Yeah, I hope he would be.
So he's definitely out, Tommy. It's a bit tough, or could he be in?
Can't find the time?
Well, I don't think he'll be launching them, but Premier Dominic Perrottet is in at 7:30 for it.
God, I get so nervous about this.
How does he fit us in? If Minns can't.
I know he's
Mr. Minns, sorry.
He just doesn't sleep. This is the thing.
No.
In an election campaign, you never sleep.
He's hot. He's
And
running
if there's
hard.
one thing we learned from the backyard cricket match is that Dominic sets his own schedule. For example, when he had to go early and Tom tried to say, Premier, it's time for you to go to question time, he just snapped back and said, I'm the Premier, mate.
I can do what I want.
I do what I want, and I'm staying.
He stayed at the backyard cricket game. It was awesome, Kate.
Loves the game. He's committed.
Can he play cricket?
He's not bad.
He's
not
good
bad.
left armour, Bruce Reid style. He's quite quick, but Albo did just absolutely annihilate him in the bat.
This is really exciting tomorrow because it played out last time as the result was true when we had Gladys Berejiklian releasing the pigeons from the balcony here. I'd like to introduce the pigeon man himself, Jim, and he's a champion flyer from the Central Cumberland Racing Pigeon Federation. Jim, welcome, buddy.
Oh my God, what's happened to the phone?
Oh,
you there, Jim?
Oh, no.
Jim,
I'm here.
Fuel. There's a lot of questions that people want to know about this. Like, where do the pigeons start? Where do they end? How long does this take? Jim, can you fill us in, please, mate?
Yeah, well, you're going to let them go at Nova, Dominic Perrottet.
Yep.
And they're going to come out to my loft at Kensington near the University of New South Wales.
Oh, it's okay. So not too far. How long do you reckon that will be around about, Jimmy?
Oh, they'll probably do a few laps of the fish markets and get the hell out of there.
Yeah.
And head down and parade past the cricket ground out to Kensington.
How many?
It'll be about 5, 6, 7 minutes. I don't know.
Okay.
It all depends.
Yeah, they're quick. Have you got one that you think might get to the end already?
Pardon?
Well, do you have a favourite? Like, is someone out in front already? Do you have a good flyer?
Well, I do have their 2-year-old birds, so they're pretty
2-year-olds.
sound, you know what I mean? They know their way home. They flew the North Coast last year all the way up to Queensland. So they were released up in Ballina and Queensland and up that way, and they winged all their way back. So they're pretty seasoned birds, Kate. Yeah, they're pretty good.
Jimmy, how do they know where to go?
No one knows. Not even David Attenborough can work it out. They just got a sense in their brain. We think they navigated from the magnetic field of the Earth.
Yes. That's amazing. Or Jimmy,
sun direction or whatever. It's $1 million question. No one can answer it.
Do you have an aroma at your house, or is there something dying in your backyard that they can smell and they go to? Or
No, there's nothing dying in the backyard. There's no aromas. They don't have a sense of smell, I don't think.
Yeah.
I think it's more to do with eyesight. They've got brilliant eyesight. They're birds. So they can see for
Jim,
1,000 kilometres or whatever.
They're obviously smarter than I think the average man thinks. But last time when we released the pigeons, not all the pigeons returned home. There's always a couple of rogue ones, let's be honest. Do you know what happens when a pigeon doesn't come home?
Falcons. They're peregrine falcons out there.
Yes.
And they're our main enemy is the peregrine falcon. They love racing pigeon because a racing pigeon's grain-fed. It's like peregrine's it's like eating a lobster.
It's wagyu, is it? Oh, no.
Oh, the poor little pigeons.
Hey, have you got any names for them, or can we throw a few names at you now, Jimmy?
Oh, you can name a few. Like, I had a white one, I used to call her Cloud, and
that's good.
I had a red one, I used to call him Red Rocket, and all that sort of stuff.
I can see what you've done.
They're all rung when they're 7 days old. So they've got the prefix of the federation or the club ring. My club's Maroubra Racing Pigeon Club.
Yeah.
And then you got the number after the year they were bred, and then the number after that. So you might have like 687 or whatever.
Okay.
Flying against 321 or whatever.
Right.
Interesting.
So, and it's all electronically timed. So when they come in tomorrow, I have an electronic timer on the front of the loft.
That's crazy.
A little computer. And the number will shoot up there on the computer. So you'll see which bird comes in first. So
fascinating.
I'll tag them. Red ones for Labor, of course, and blue for Liberal.
Yeah. So boring.
You'll be able to see the tags, either red or blue, which one will enter the loft first.
Hope it's a drug-free event too.
Do we have to? One's got to be. Do we go? One's got to be called Dominic Pigeon, eh? And I suppose.
There's one who's bred in Canberra by a guy in Canberra. Bred it for me.
Yeah.
He's got a blue life ring on his leg.
Oh.
I've called him Dominic. That one.
Okay, and then what do we just do? Chris Pinge as the other one, or do you?
Oh, that's a good
just
one.
That's
really good.
Is that off the top of your head?
Just two basic ones. Just come up with some beauties as well. Kanye Nest.
That's nice.
Yeah, I'll call the other Mins or something,
we'll go with what we've said, yeah.
Chris Pringe. Losing my Rapigeon.
Oh, that's clever.
Not bad.
That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Lord of the Wings.
I don't mind that.
So many options that we've got,
Jimmy, this is a fascinating hobby, and we're so glad that you're available to be part of it. Are you single?
Yeah, I am.
Oh, you are? I didn't think you would be.
Well,
there's about 300 pigeon fanciers. There's 300 of us in the Federation. It's the Central Cumberland Racing Pigeon Federation of Sydney. That's our website. If you get on there, you can click onto that.
Yep.
Central Cumberland Racing Pigeon Federation.
Yep.
There's 300 of us. It's a winter sport. We have 22 races during the winter time.
It's beautiful.
And we race from 120 kilometres all the way to 1,000 kilometres.
That's fun. There needs to be a dating app, doesn't there?
Jimmy, this is amazing. We cannot wait for tomorrow, mate. So we're going to have 3 on each side. Is that correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Okay.
3 with red tags and 3 with blue tags.
Good on you, Jimmy.
All right. You're going to have the premiere at your house tomorrow. This is massive.
It's exciting.
I don't think he's going from here to Jimmy's house.
What?
I don't think the Premier's going to Jimmy's house.
Oh, no, yeah, no. He
Where's
will
he
jump.
coming?
He's
Is he
coming
gonna
here
be
at Nova,
here?
and then he'll come to Jimmy's house.
Yeah, and then Jimmy rings and
drinks
says
afterwards.
the blue one arrived.
And then Jimmy will obviously support him on election day as well. Jim, you're going to vote
Jim.
Liberal, or who are you voting for, Jimmy?
You can't ask her.
Oh, hang on a
I
minute.
can't ask that. That's private.
No, Ed, don't answer
That's
that,
all right,
Jimmy.
mate. One
Not
nation.
answering
If
that,
you want to
Kate,
be
no
one
way.
nation, that's fine.
Are you serious?
Mark Latham.
No, well done, Jimmy. Can't wait for tomorrow.
Thank you.
Tune in for that. What time does it kick off, Tommy? 7:30?
Well, yeah, so Dom's in at 7:30. They'll probably be in the sky by 7:40, and Matt de Groot will be standing by 8 o'clock at Jimmy's
Oh,
house.
so MTG's going to Jimmy's
You
house.
get the big assignments. There are politicians that have got buses of reporters all over the state, and I get to go to Jimmy's house in Kensington and wait for a bunch of pigeons.
Thanks,
So
MPG.
that's my day. Okay.
MPG tomorrow, mate.
Okay.
You made it.
Another proud day.
Matt de Groot.
Thank you, mate.
Well done.
Pleasure to serve.
It's going to be massive. Who will do the news? No one will know. That's great. That's why we do crazy stuff like that.
This is Fitzy and Wippa with Kate Ritchie.
On Nova.